Oh boy, we already know how this started. From double DDoS attacks at beginning, to the extremely poor monetization, and then to the unrewarding events, Overwatch 2 had a very interesting start. The beta showed such promises that this game was going to be intense, with 5v5 gameplay, new maps and game modes, new customizables such as ornaments and mythic skins, new characters and reworks, and much more. Overwatch 2 showed such promise. Well, sorta. At the beginning of release, many players were experiencing connection issues due to 2 DDoS attacks, which caused them to lose connection to the servers or not be able to get into the servers to play the game. I've experienced this for days until it was actually fixed. My frustrations were extremely high on these days. After merging my account and waiting for the servers to be fixed, I finally got into the game and the shit show began. And it wasn't the gameplay. With the gameplay being entertaining, some changes came with the game that upset the streamers and even the community. Here are some changes that were made and why they were bad and can be changed. Number 1. The level up system. The level up system has been completely removed, and now this confuses a lot of players of what the point is for the experience gained during the games and completing challenges. You don't even need to gain XP to unlock the characters. Though the XP goes towards the battle pass, people wondered, what does the XP do after the battle pass is completed? Number 2. Locking out characters. This was a major issue. Unless you are a returning player or bought the Watchpoint pack, then most characters are locked out for you. This causes issues due to the players not being able to play the characters they want. In order to unlock the characters, they would have to complete a number of 150 games altogether. Sounds fun, right? You can either grind to unlock the character or buy the Watchpoint pack. Even new characters are locked behind the battle pass, which upsets most players. Number 3. Loot boxes. With the loot boxes being removed from Overwatch, things like leveling up, earning your skins, and game modes like arcade have been rendered useless. A player will find things like the events and even game modes in the arcade to be unrewarding. You used to have to win 9 games in arcade to receive 3 loot boxes, then it would restart so you could win more. Even gaining 22,000 or more XP in just playing quick play can have players earn the loot boxes. Now, since loot boxes have been removed, the game feels very unrewarding to play. Number 4. The monetization. Even though the game is free to play and must earn money somehow, the monetization is extremely horrendous. The weekly challenges provide at least 60 Overwatch coins, which does nothing for a player. For skins for Overwatch 1, like for the event, usually would cost 3,000 coins, and old skins would cost 1,000 coins. For Overwatch 2, some of the old skins are now almost 1,900 Overwatch coins. In order to get the skins like the Dracula Reaper skin, you will have to complete 32 weeks worth of weekly challenges. What? And the Dracula skin is almost 5 to 6 years old. Well, maybe you could try buying them. Now, that is more of a disaster. Skins are now double the price even when being many years old. This makes the game seem more greedy in the eyes of the consumers. Now, I'm gonna come to an actual stop right now because everything was like literally read from a script. I'm gonna come off telling things on a real perspective. As a player, when this first actually came out, when Overwatch 2 came out, on release, it was a terrible release. There was many things that were taken away from the Overwatch experience that literally made it worse. And with that, there's a lot of changes that need to be made towards this game. And I would like to recommend possible changes for this game that is maybe some way that can actually give the actual consumer a positive outlook of the game and a positive future for the game. I believe things like, the loot boxes should be returned due to the fact that, these rewards and these actual events don't feel too rewarding. Especially when there's no way to actually earn the skins in any type of way, to a proper way to actually earn something. Especially when you have to do 32 weeks to get a 1900 Overwatch coin skin, and that's really ridiculous. It gets to that point where, major events like Halloween will literally die out from it, and arcade will not see so much gameplay because of those loot boxes being gone. So I would recommend highly for the loot boxes to return, and with that, especially major things with content, being added to the game for the loot boxes, like more emotes, more I would say more highlight intros, more voice lines, hire the voice actors again to do more voice lines, do things in regards to making more sprays, more ornaments, more, like, especially based on all the characters. And it should be very important that those things should be there to bring the loot boxes. Now, I know a lot of people would say that loot boxes are a reason, that the game failed in the first place, which is not true. And loot boxes cause, issues like gambling addiction, which is not true. There has never been an issue with loot boxes and gambling addiction ever, and that has been recorded. It's absolutely ridiculous. Loot boxes are especially what made the events and what made the game more rewarding. The level up system needs to come back to bring those loot boxes back. Now, for it being a free game, it does need to make some money. I think because of how bad the monetization was at first, I think people wouldn't have mind paying $40 for the game, especially of how terrible the monetization is, for the prices, for the challenges, for everything that you have to pay for. If you're willing to make money off of skins, I would recommend making more of the mythic skins, not just for the battle pass, but actually make them available with bundles. A lot of people, especially places like Fortnite, sell based off the skins, and especially with the skins, like for things like collaborations, are very important because in those areas they make money. They make large amounts of money. And it's very, very important to have that for things like, for Overwatch. If you're doing a free-to-play game, especially where you have Paladins, Ninjala, or any other free-to-play games making collabs with, different types of skins, I think that's a start for many different gaming areas, especially where you could start doing collabs for Overwatch. Another thing that could literally be changed is if that doesn't happen where we earn that, I believe the weeklies should be a lot more rewarding as well. I don't think I should be getting 30 or 20 or 10 coins for doing weeklies. I would say 300, 200, 100 to make it at least in a way where it feels rewarding and I could be able to get the skins. And the prices for the skins really need to change. A lot of the gameplay is perfectly fine the way it is, but some of the main key aspects like prices for skins is ridiculous. If a new event comes out with a skin and it's 3,000 coins, people understood that, and then like the older skins would be 1,000, but now it's really hard to get those skins, because if you actually try to buy the skins from the event and the event is done, you're not able to buy that skin with the coins because the event is done, and the events last like at least 2 weeks, and it's very, very sad where it's going. I think there's a lot of changes that Overwatch 2 needs to make to be really good again. With gameplay, I'm okay with the gameplay, but with a lot of the monetization, all of this needs to change. But in the comments below, let me know what you guys think. I want to know your opinion on certain things, and if you want to add more issues that you have with the game itself, by all means comment below. But Definitely subscribe to the EHG community. Definitely turn on notifications for when we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us on our Facebook group, our Discord channel. Make sure to go ahead and check out our merchandise and then follow us on Glimish. But this is Nico from the EHG community. Stay tuned for another video, and remember that there's always something amazing on the horizon.